41 now. Good morning, everybody. Slip back to 2 degrees. We're kind of hovering around 3 all morning long, going to a high of 8 and sunny later today. Jeff Kopas is here. He is the writer and director?
Writer and director, yeah.
Writer and director of An Insignificant Harvey. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what's your opinion on this? We've been saying, you know, that we find the Canadians, whether it was Will Ferguson, the writer, saying this, or we're observing it, the Canadians always have a slightly different bent on things, and it seems like your movie may fall into this category.
I think that's pretty accurate. We have the British colonialism and the American neighbors, so that makes us a strange opinion for sure.
Can you explain, I thought, how will I set up An Insignificant Harvey? I thought, I'm going to let you do it instead. Can you explain the premise?
Sure. It's a movie about, I mean, it's a general theme how we all feel insignificant at certain points during our lives, but I take it creatively to kind of a new level, and so it's about a guy who's played by Jordan Prentice, who's Harvey, and he's a little person, he's a dwarf, which just happened organically as we developed the story, and he's isolated in a small town, and he finds this stray husky in the forest, and it follows him home, and from there the story kind of continues, and he falls in love with a girl, and he has to make a choice whether or not he's going to try to, you know, engage with the world again, or if he's going to go back and hide in his little Airstream trailer where he lives. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What made you interested in the outsider story?
You know, it was sort of 3-4 years ago that I wrote it, and it's always been something that's intrigued me, how all of us at certain times in our lives feel that way, and how some people, you know, get stuck by it and they end up hiding from the world, and they can't get past it, and other people fight it, and they do, and they accomplish things.
And your doggy.
Yeah, my doggy.
Is it actually your doggy?
It is actually my doggy, yeah.
This is Inca. Inca wasn't like a stunt dog or a performing dog.
No, I cast my own dog, which was very risky, because if I'd been on set with, you know, 100 crew members and she wasn't doing what I told her to, that would have been really embarrassing. But she actually did a really good job. She's been great.
This is a trend on the show. Be a guest. Bring your pets.
Bring your pets?
Yeah.
I like it. That's good.
Was it hard to train Inca to do this?
She wasn't that bad. You know, I had to train her I had to give her some hand signals, but besides that, she's been pretty good, and it's been great from now that we're releasing the film, because you know, we're doing this road show across Canada, where me and Inca, Airstream gave us a trailer, and we're taking the trailer and we're traveling across Canada, and we're promoting the film in each city and each town that we're in, and it's me and the dog doing the tour. So it'll be.
When you do a film like this, do you storyboard it physically? Do you see it in your head, or is it a combination of those?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely in your head before, and then you try to do some pretty aggressive storyboarding before you shoot.
Right.
It obviously changes as you go.
Yeah.
But this one was a pretty low budget film, so we were pretty tight, and we didn't have a lot of time, so things changed on set pretty quickly.
So there was there a lot of ad-libbing occurring and changing of the script?
We stuck to the story pretty well, but there's definitely, I mean, that's a bit of a director thing that I really like to do, is I like to give my actors a chance to ad-lib, so we'll kind of do one that's from the script, and then I'll say, you know, this one's for you, and just kind of go with it. And some actors like that more than others. It really depends on the actor. Yeah.
The low budget aspect seems to be the reality if you're just a starting filmmaker, and especially if you're a starting Canadian filmmaker.
Starting, is it? Yeah, it's just Canadian almost.
It depends on the low budget. I mean, you know, low budgets used to be $5 million. Now they're $100,000. The technology's really changed. But you know, the great thing is, and this is a classic example, is you know, this is a $2 million movie. It's not in cash, but it looks like it, and all the technology is the same, and we had a lot of in-kind support from different people. But it's you know, it can compete with any of the big movies out there from a production point of view, which I can speak to humbly, you know, and I think from a story point of view as well.
Liza was talking about the quirky theme. Do you find that, you know, there's really only a handful of stories out there, right? Whether it's a love story, or it's the underdog story.
Right.
Sorry, how do you reinvent a story?
It's so hard, isn't it?
It is.
And it's really what makes exceptional movies exceptional as opposed to just okay. Yeah, it's really difficult, and it's just a matter of trying to find a new twist on something, or a new way of telling that twist. You know, so in this case we have kind of a coming of age story and a love story together, and then obviously the husky and having a little person actor. You know, those are some new twists on both of those stories. And the Northern Canadiana. You know, it's not a depressing Canadian film. You know, there's no one riding a bicycle through Kensington Market, which is always my classic like Canadian film joke. But you know, it's funny, but you know, we've had lots of people crying in the theater and laughing at the same time, so that's great.
Where are we at with Canadian cinema right now? Does it get the support that it should get? Is it, you know, it feels like, I know we're so much smaller than the United States, but we don't tend to put out those blockbusters. Why not? Like, why don't we have Quebec has a thriving
Quebec has an amazing industry. I mean, they have, Quebec has something that the rest of English Canada doesn't have yet. They have a star system.
Yeah.
Quebec has stars. I mean, they're a Quebec actress, and they walk down the street, they get swarmed by people in Quebec. It's partly cultural. I mean, we're next door to, you know, multi-billion-dollar Hollywood, which just, it's impossible for us to compete with. So yeah, I'm very positive about it personally. I think it depends on the filmmaker you talk to. You know, I think Canadian cinema is amazing. I think it's getting better and better. I really do. I mean, the films that I see at the festivals and that my friends and colleagues are making, I'm just like, wow, like this is really getting good, and it is. And same with TV. And now it's just a matter of making Canadians realize that. And actually go out to see Canadian films, which is the one kind of thing that we're a little bit missing, is the Canadian public needs to realize that, which is our job to do, but needs to realize that, you know, there's actually some really good films being made now in Canada.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know that Adam McGoyan had good things to say about you as I
he's been very supportive, which has been great.
Yeah, that's amazing. How wide a release is An Insignificant
We're all
Harvey
over
getting?
Canada, but we are releasing today in the AMC at Yonge and Dundas in Toronto, and so we have 17 screenings this weekend alone. So please go see the movie.
Will you be there? Do you go?
I'm doing Q&As at every single one. Actually, all 17. Yeah, so yeah, I'll be there. Come say hi. And same with some of my cast and other crew members. And then we run all next week, and then we might have another week or two here at the AMC. It depends what our numbers are like this weekend. But then we go to Ottawa and Montreal and Vancouver, and yeah, we're going all across the country.
That's great, because true film lovers, I mean, that's why TIFF gets packed, right? Because you want to talk about the movie. You're not there necessarily for the stars. You want to have that conversation with
the Q&A is really valuable, and they get to meet, Inca here, which is good. Come on.
I'm sure Inca's a hit.
Yeah, Inca's a hit. I'm not sure if she's allowed in the AMC yet. We're trying to figure that out.
Inca's doing the red carpet.
Yeah, she's doing the red carpet.
Get special permission as the star. Well, thanks so much for coming to talk to us, Jeff Kopas. He is the writer and director of An Insignificant Harvey. Inca's here as well, and as we were saying, that opens today at AMC Theaters. It's 8:48 now. Thanks, Jeff. We'll take a break. We'll be back in just a minute.
Thanks, Jeff.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
It looks like a great film. It really does. So, you know, I just like hats off for